What's up, guys? It's the Unhinged Engineer here, back with the first official episode of our GT OMSCS vlog. And in this episode, I just want to talk about the registration process. Honestly, it was a lot easier than I anticipated, and I wound up getting the class I wanted. So all things considered, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, I just want to talk about that process for anybody who's going through it and might be a little confused. So let's get right into it, right? So the first thing to note is that as a new student, you can't register until phase 2. Right, so phase 2 is the final phase of registration. It's about 2 weeks before classes start, and at the end, there's something called Free for All Friday, which I don't fully understand, but I think is basically when they blow up the wait list and it just becomes like a free for all, hence the name. So you can sign up for any classes at that point, assuming there's room, which is a big assumption. So yeah, you have to wait until phase 2, and in addition to that, you have to wait until your time ticket for phase 2. So at the start of phase 2, which for me was December 31st, because I'm registering for spring 2025, so this was December 31st, 2024, you're given your time ticket. And so I was literally like at my buddy's house having fun for New Year's, drinking and hanging out. And when I opened up my laptop to see when my time ticket would be, these were the messages I saw. Right? And I was a little confused at first, but within like 15 minutes, I knew what was going on, and none of this is a big deal. So starting off with that hold on my account, if you've been through this for undergrad, sometimes like admin gets in the way and they're like, hey, you can't register until you sort this out. Basically, I had to sign a piece of paper that says I'll pay for the program. That was it. It took like 5 minutes. At the bottom there, it took 5 minutes and then hold went away. At the bottom there, you can see it says you can register from January 2nd, 2025, 11 a.m. until the end of phase 2, which is January 10th at 4. And then it says you have no registration time ticket. So I don't know why it's phrased that way, but basically that time allotment is your time ticket, right? So I read that as at 11 a.m. I can register for the classes I want. Some people were confused. I think it's understandable, but yeah, that is your time ticket. So I saw that. I was good. Closed my laptop, went about drinking for New Year's, and then a couple days later, I opened it up in BuzzPort, right? So BuzzPort, as far as I can tell, is like the center hub for GT students. And as you know, that all the infrastructure and online stuff is the same as if I was there in person. So all the resources are reused. And if I go to Oscar, which is like the registration page, this is pretty like standard fanfare if you've been through this for school, right? Register for our classes, select a term, computer science, and then I went for this one. I can search, and lo and behold, here's everything. Now, important to note here, all the campuses, is there a Shenzhen campus? I didn't know that. But all the campuses for Georgia Tech, including online, pop up here. So like when I was searching for other courses, I would see stuff that was like in Atlanta, which is where Georgia Tech is. But, obviously as an OMSCS student, all I care about is the online section. I click the online section, and lo and behold, I am in the AI for Robotics class. So yeah, I didn't really talk a lot about my strategy with registering before actually going for the class. But to be blunt, I actually didn't want to register for this class first because it was the class I was looking forward to the most, right? So I'm focusing in robotics, and this is like the robotics class. It's an elective for most specializations, but for us, it's a requirement. And I was like super pumped about it. And because I was super pumped about it, I wanted to wait until later to actually take the class. But I figured like, it's a healthy workload. I've seen people recommend it for a first class. It's a good intro to the program. It's all stuff that's relevant to me. I'll be excited. The excitement will help me kind of go through the growing pains of not having been in school for a couple years. And I was like, it seems like the obvious answer. Let me just do it, right? Let me not get in my own way. And that's what I did. I also looked at some other classes. Like it was terrible timing because somebody posted like the difficulties of different classes by ranking, and they had a section called free A's, and I was like, damn, maybe I should take like a second class that I know is going to be super easy. Ultimately, I decided like, look, this is my first class. I got to get used to school again. I want to make sure I maintain everything else in my life, including this channel. I was like, let me just stick to one, and then if I really, am chomping at the bit going into summer semester, I'll do 2 then, right? So we'll see how everything goes. But yeah, this is the class I wound up getting. I guess main points here. Number 1, that confusing message is your time ticket. The holds, at least the hold I had, was not a big deal. I'm sure there were some other agreements that I may have forgotten to sign or other people may have forgotten to sign. It seems like it was all just, sign the dotted line, nothing hard. Yeah, I wound up getting the class I want. I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, oh, and I guess to recap the beginning, as a new student, you have to wait until phase two. Don't be too nervous. It doesn't seem that complicated. Also, except for the like big classes like intro to algorithms or artificial intelligence, like the big artificial intelligence class, not the AI techniques for robotics class. Aside from those, it seemed like most of the ones I was looking at, even the core requirements for my specialization, were open or at least close to open, that somebody on the wait list might have a chance. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it went, and I'm pretty happy with the class I got. So starting next week, I will be, or I guess, yeah, this week. It's less than a week. Next week, I'm starting classes. So I'm super excited. I don't have anything on Canvas yet, but pretty soon it should pop up and I can start looking through course materials. And I can even go to like their current courses list and look at old syllabi, right? Yeah, so here's spring 2024. And I was looking through this earlier. I would assume the schedule is going to be relatively similar, obviously the calendar shifts and stuff, but yeah, no big deal. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm the Unhinged Engineer. If you're interested in content like this or general content about software and aerospace engineering, stay tuned because I'll be making a lot more of it. So thanks again, and I will see you next time.